it's 3:53, so I put on my TV. This is the only thing that's on.
Now, you might remember this, but a few weeks ago, Saturday Night Live did a skit about adults struggling to get a good night's rest. Well, the skit is hitting a little too close for home for many Americans like myself, because we're almost 3 years into the pandemic and people are sleep deprived. Now, in the summer of 2020, the American Academy of Sleep Medicine found 20% of adults had trouble sleeping because of the pandemic. And get this, when the Academy did the survey again 10 months later, 60% of adults said that their sleep problems had only gotten worse. Many were struggling with pandemic-related insomnia. Well, in hopes of getting some shut-eye, many adults started using melatonin. I am guilty of that as well. And according to Nielsen, Americans spent a record $825 million on melatonin supplements in 2020 alone. With so many people using melatonin, we reached out to sleep expert Dr. Whitney Roban to see how safe it really is. In addition, Dr. Roban is the founder of Solve Our Sleep. Dr. Roban, we are going to play a game of true and false. And here's what I was thinking we were going to do. I will actually read you a statement, and then I was hoping that you could elaborate on why the statement is true or false, along with any potential risks. How does that sound?
Sounds great, Tabitha. Thanks.
Okay, the first one, true or false, it is safe to take melatonin supplements every night, even if it's long-term.
So that is false. The research shows now that it is safe to take it short-term, but there is no research right now on its long-term use. So I would recommend that it's something that you take to get your sleep-wake cycle back on track, but it's not something that you should think you're going to be taking every night for a long time.
Okay, true or false, taking melatonin could lead to some uncomfortable yet mild symptoms.
That is true. Usually when you take it above the recommended 5 milligrams, you can start to feel some side effects, such as a headache, nausea, dizziness, maybe a little anxiety. And also it's been reported to have very vivid dreams and nightmares. So not horrible side effects, but side effects nonetheless.
That is something now I have a concern about, because that's one thing I do get is really vivid dreams. And like you said, they are sometimes nightmares, but I wake up and I remember them. And that's usually when I'm like, whoa.
Mm-hmm. That could be from the melatonin.
It could be. Okay, so true or false, melatonin supplements may affect other medications such as immunosuppressants or even diabetes medications.
So you really need to, people don't usually go to their doctor. That is true. People don't usually go to their doctor to discuss taking melatonin because they think it's just a vitamin and just a supplement.
Yeah.
And it does have a sedation effect. So if you're taking a medication, maybe like a Valium that already sedates, you might not want to take a lot of melatonin with that because you might feel extra dizzy or sedated. So you really do have to be careful with your other medications. And I always recommend talking to your doctor, telling them that you would like to start taking melatonin, and just make sure with your other medications that everything's going to check out.
Okay, true or false, taking melatonin supplements, even in appropriate doses, may actually not be helpful in overcoming sleep problems.
Well, that is true. The research is really out on melatonin. So the good news is short term, at lower doses, it's safe. But effective, we're not so sure. Research has shown that it will decrease the time it takes to fall asleep by 4 to 8 minutes. So although that's a little, it's really not significant to be taking it every single night. So, and it doesn't work for everybody. Some people report that melatonin does work, and others say they didn't find any benefit to their sleep when taking it.
Last one here, true or false, a range of 0.5 milligrams to 5 milligrams is a safe and effective melatonin dosage for adults.
That is true. It's recommended that we start at the lowest dosage, like any other kind of medication you take, even with supplements, so 0.5 or 1 milligram to start, and going as high as 5 milligrams. It's not recommended to take more than 5 milligrams.
Okay, and finally, now that we've gone through, melatonin do's and don'ts, I'm really curious about this. What should we be doing if we're having trouble sleeping?
So the first thing I always recommend when we're talking about sleep is making sure it's a priority. So there's something that I call a priority hierarchy. It's things that you think are so important in your life. And the interesting thing about sleep, I consider it like an umbrella that overarches everything that we do every day. And in order to be successful in all the things you prioritize, if sleep isn't on there, you're not going to have great success every day. So putting sleep as a priority in your life, and if it's already there, moving it up to the top, so then you can get great sleep and be successful in all the other areas of your life that sleep has an effect upon.
Well, Dr. Whitney Roban, thank you so much for taking the time to, of course, join us here on NBCLX. Tell us a little bit more about our melatonin habits and help us all fall asleep, because we're all having a little bit of trouble with it here in the pandemic.
Yeah, sleep is difficult, but it's something that we could all work on and get better. Small changes to your sleep hygiene and your daily routines can make huge changes to your sleep. So stay positive, focus on it, and I wish everybody to stay well and well rested.
Thank you.